Hi guys, I'm Praneeth. I'm a MuleSoft integration consultant. Today I'm going to show you a small transformation using Java, which we will be using in Mule flows for transforming an existing or incoming array list to a specific format so that we can use the transform list directly in SOQL in clause. We shall now go into the use case of the transformation explained in the video. So let me have a read up of the use case. As a developer, I want to transform incoming array list in the format shown in the example 1 to the format shown in example 2, by which transform list, that is the example 2, can be directly used for SOQL in clause. So let me explain. We have a scenario where we need to query or fetch records from a Salesforce object for a specific set of enumerated values for a column. So in this case, the SOQL query should have an in clause. So let us assume the client who is invoking the MuleSoft API is providing the enumerations in the request payload as an array list. As we know, array list is in the format something like this, but SOQL in clause expects the list to be passed in this format as part of in clause. Now I will show you how to achieve this in our Mule flow. Now we will get on to AnyPoint Studio. So I've created the project already. So where you can see, since we are trying to expose it to a client, we'll be using a listener here. Okay, so that listener can, the client can post the uh, data or the array list which we are expecting here to this endpoint. So this listener has all default configurations. Mm, okay, no specific or customized configurations. Then what I'm doing here is I'm logging the payload. So actually payload which I'm going to pass is this. So the array list which is in the form of this. Okay. Next, I've put a flow reference here so that this flow reference directs the flow to transform subflow. Okay. So where in that transform subflow, I've put the invoke static connector where I'm calling the actual Java class or Java method where this transformation is going to happen. So this is the Java class or the method where it accepts list of strings. Okay, then initially we'll be checking whether the list is null or uh, not null, and the size of the list is greater than 0. Then we will iterate through the list and build the structure or the format which is required by SOQL query in clause. Okay, then for this method input, the input we are passing it as an arguments here in this connector. So the input is payload.ArrayList, which is the array list which we pass it from the postman. Okay, next, so I'm logging the payload here so that the transformed structure can be seen here for our reference. Then I've just put a transform message. I'm building a JSON response JSON so that we'll know that how the transformation happened. So first key shows us, or the first JSON element shows us the transformed string or the transform the list. The second shows how we can use that in the SOQL query in clause. So this is the in clause. Okay. So let me run the API. So the API is up and running now. Let me trigger it from the postman. Okay, now I posted the request, and when we see here, so the input payload is this ArrayList. Okay, and now uh, the response, the logger shows us how that got transformed into a specific structure required by in class. Let me do one more thing. So I'll just put a logger again in the end so that we can see how that got transformed. Now we'll see the response JSON which we built it here. We'll see the response transform list and the usage in the SOQL query. Okay, see the app is up and running now. Let me post the request again. Done. Then now you can see this is the input. Okay, and the list is transformed into this structure. Okay, the same can be seen in the response JSON, and the transformed list in SQL we can use it in this way: select ID comma name from account where ID in this structure. This is kind of a small utility where we can do quick transformations for quick Salesforce integrations. So I'll put the code in GitHub and share you the link. Thank you.